Greetings, one and all. I'm Phil Hogan, and welcome to Meet Your Maker, where today we will be looking at the level Land of Grumph. This level in particular did not have much of a theme going into it. You know, sometimes I like to go into a level with an idea of what to do, and other times I just start drawing and see where it takes me. This is one of those times. I'm not a huge fan of the Super Mario Bros. 3 aesthetic, but I wanted to give it a shot, especially because I don't see a lot of levels that use that style online. So, I started with the basic ground level and started to make the level. I wanted to practice making more basic levels, like one that could have feasibly been in Super Mario Bros. 3. In this level, Land of Grumph, I stuck to that fairly well. Any tricks or traps would have had to be made simple and intuitive without too much repetition. This also means that I wanted to create a level that was moderately difficult while still being what players would consider fair, meaning that a death is a result of their misplay, not the result of something unforeseeable, like a trap door that sends you to your instant death. The beginning of a level is an interesting sort of puzzle to solve. Naturally, there's the inherent danger of having your level look the same as the majority of the other levels. The temptation to replicate the beginning of Super Mario Bros. 1-1 with the pyramid-looking design and the power-up in one of the blocks is omnipresent, as it's such an elegant and naturally nostalgic design. I like giving the player a Super Mushroom at the beginning of the level, so they have a free hit when facing a never-before-seen course. It takes a lot of pressure off the individual and allows them to more confidently take on more intimidating challenges. I wanted to go beyond the aforementioned shroom in a box, like so many players have come to expect, so instead I found a playful way to give the player the mushroom by using the spring at the beginning. The next part of the level, well, I was just trying stuff out to see what worked for me. When I don't go into a level with a set theme or mechanic in mind, such as Mega Man-inspired tower climb level, or level where you defeat tough enemies to get key coins, I like to use the Wii U pad and draw it out. I settled on a small pit of enemies that players wouldn't have a problem getting past, but it could catch them off guard if they weren't paying attention. Buzzy beetles were my first choice, but I forgot that they function completely differently with wings attached. So the final design I ended up going with Goombas, because of their bouncing patterns with the wings. Mixing it up, I find it fun to put a P-switch section. It adds suspense and forces the action on the player's behalf in order to get past it. I find situations like this require what's called a reset door, or a door that you can go through to start the puzzle over again. Using the one-way blocks serve both to tell the player that they shouldn't fall, and it prevents them from jumping back up when the P-switch expires, and accidentally collecting the coins that they'll need to jump across as platforms. It's always difficult to judge distance between things until I put the level in motion a lot of times, so I find myself placing things too close together. Now I have the opportunity to do something unique to Super Mario Bros. 3, the Raccoon Leaf. It's risky when it comes into play because a savvy player can use that or the Super Mario World Feather power-up to completely fly over your course. That's not usually what I go for. I wanted to utilize it for the second half of this level, so I had to think of ways to challenge the player with the Raccoon Leaf while preventing them from escaping the area. Time for a checkpoint. I've been trying to utilize them in my levels, as they provide a nice breather for the player, knowing that they won't have to redo the entire level if they lose a life from that point onward. I didn't want to just give it to them, however, so I made it a little more interesting. Here I created an opportunity for some repetition. The area is set up similar to the P-switch area due to the presence of the one-way blocks, and the ability to retry the section instead of letting Mario fall to his untimely demise. This time, however, it was all about the Raccoon Leaf. Two things that you can do with the leaf is fly and break blocks at ground level. In a way, you have to make your own runway. Once you get flying through that deathly tunnel of spike traps, you're pretty much good to go. I needed a few more tricks to keep the player on their toes and continue the spike trap theme. A Star Rush could be a lot of fun, but perhaps there is something else that Super Mario Bros. 3 can offer us. And of course there is the boots. They not only give the player the ability to traverse spike traps, but we can do something else fun with them too. That's bouncing on saws. Those moving platforms aren't super stable, so if something about the timing doesn't work out, our ride could fall down to the pit. This is another opportunity to make sure the player doesn't have to start all over if something messed up beyond their control. Again, a way to make it challenging, but fair. Finally, it's time for one more P-Switch challenge to get that end of level adrenaline pumping. At this point, it's do or die. After a quick test pilot, I found a few things that I disliked about the level initially. For starters, the flying spinies could be spread out a little more to provide a way to fly down through them, as opposed to almost always taking a hit and hoping that you're far enough to land on the next platform when you fall. Also, restarting the flight area from the checkpoint really sucked because of that one-way block that forced you to go up, over, and back down again to get the leaf that you needed. Ultimately, it wasn't really necessary to keep a player from just walking back out the checkpoint house to collect the leaf, so I edited that part to make it a little less tedious and punishing overall. Other than that, it seemed good to go. All I needed now was a name, and nothing came to mind. There wasn't a strong enough central theme or mechanical repetition to name it based off that. Like, for example, if I used a level with lots of piranha plants, I could call it something like Piranha Panic. When it came down to it, there was a lot to do in this one level. It was a world. No, a land. A land of what exactly? No, I'm not sure. But the word Grumph sounded lighthearted and happy, fitting for a Mario level. So, Land of Grumph it was. So there you have it, Land of Grumph. The code is displayed in front of you, and it's also in the description if you'd like to play it for yourself. I'm Phil Hogan, reminding you that with imagination, you can do it. So get out there and make it happen. Hi again everyone, thank you so much for watching my video. This is something I wanted to do for fun and put it out there to see what happens. So here we are. If you'd like to see more of these, please hit that like button and leave a comment below. And if you hate it like the crafty Koopa that you are, hit that dislike button too. I might do more of these in the future, and ultimately, your feedback will be the deciding factor. Once again, thank you for checking out Meet Your Maker, and hey, have a lovely day.